got the game all set up to do a playthrough, and the way that we figured that we could do this best, because I've had people ask about doing a whole playthrough, is that we're just going to go through a couple turns and then stop and pick it up again another day. So like tonight, we don't have much time to play anyway, so it's perfect for this. Because we have this table that we can just put the dining tabletop back on. And most of you may not know my wife, but this is my wife Leah. And she's going to be playing the Avenging Madman. I'm going to be controlling the Archaeologist and the Exorcist. Okay? And so we can just go to the first story. And I'll read how it kind of goes. So the game setup tutorial tells me to go to rule book, page 5. Says choose a focus, which we've already done. We've already chosen our characters. I picked the focus of, I wrote it on my sheet here, Explorer. And my wife picked Avenger. Is that correct? Savage. Savage, sorry. And then for my Friar, he is the Sanctifier. And I named him Friar Tuck. I named my Archaeologist Senor Belmont. And Leah named her character Bob. Alright, so let's get a better view of the table. Alright, so we are doing Everything Changes, Story 1. The Arrival. You have traveled far, entering a territory of mountains and hills, forests and ancient paths. As you near your destination, an oppressive veil descends as the sky becomes dim. The stagecoach you hired approaches an old stone building with a belfry and enormous arched wooden front door, whose scrollwork tells tales of horror and redemption. The coach rolls to a stop and you exit to stand before the Church of the Crossroads. The church is an age-old monument and gateway to this ancient mountainous territory. As you near the wooden doors to head inside, you hear the sounds of a struggle from within. Entering the church, you see an old curator cowering at the hands of highwaymen. The highwaymen are ragged and filthy. With the dangerous edge of the desperation, they demand food and valuables. Skill check tutorial. So at this point, the group must make a skill check. In this case, one character may try to pass a speech 8. So we look down here on our character sheets, it's skills, and we see if any of us has speech. Well, I don't. The Friar has speech. And it says one character may try to pass. And so he gets a +1 bonus to speech. So we'd roll a red 10-sided die. That's the skill check die. And he got an 8. Okay, we got a success. You exert control and ask them to leave. They realize that the curator is not easy pickings and decide to take their trouble elsewhere, gain a boon. And so to gain a boon, we take one of these boon tokens. And it says, receive an extra attack. And I would give that to the Friar since he's the one that passed that skill check. If we would have failed, we would have to have skirmished with him. And then I continue on. The curator thanks you for driving brigands away and for saving the church from being burglarized. He explains that this area has begun to attract an unsavory element, but there are calamities far worse to the north. He says the priest received this a few days ago. He left immediately to investigate. Without warning, he lifts a covering from a table, revealing a bloody mess of fur and flesh. So, story skill check, nerve 4. Does anyone have nerve? You do? Alright, so then you would roll the red skill die, and you need a 4 or higher. It says all characters. So the Archaeologist got a 9, and then the Exorcist got a 1. Okay. And so you resist the urge to become sick. I resist the urge to become sick, but the Exorcist does not. And so it says, success. You steady yourself against the revolting sight. You become centered and recover 1 vita, but we haven't lost any vita yet. However, the priest, your stomach lurches at the sight and smell of the dead creature. You realize that this is not the corpse of any ordinary animal. Unable to contain yourself, you throw up what is left of your last meal and lose 2 vita. And your vita tracker is here. If you notice, there's a little red arrow on your character sheet there. That's where that goes. I thought I had it set up there. And that should be pointing at your starting hit points. And then this one should be pointing at 5 because you start with 5 of the power points. And so the priest started at 22, so he's going to go down to 20. After recovering from the shock of such a disgusting sight, you examine it more closely. It seems unnatural. The curator explains, wolves have been seen devouring people in the north. A group of Ostalink hunters tracked this one down. But no matter how many arrows and spear tips pierced its flesh, it would not stop moving. They brought it to the alchemist first, believing it was bewitched by some evil curse. Its form shifted and changed periodically in startling phases. It only stopped after that stone was removed from its stomach. He points to a small pebble encased in the glass on a pedestal near the table. Neither the priest nor alchemist know what it is, but they fear it is related to the source of the trouble in the north. Go to Ostalink and seek out the missing priest, to inquire of the people where they found this creature. It is of dire importance that you find the wolf beast's lair. Here are a few coins to help you with your journey. You are welcome to rummage through our cellar and see if you can find something useful and take with you. Return with news when you have found our priest. Attention! Each character receives 1 coin from the curator. Draw 2 item cards. Find out what you discovered in the church's cellar. It is up to you to decide which characters receive the items. If you cannot decide, use the dice to roll off. And so, here are the item cards. I'll have you draw 2, since we were rummaging through the cellar, and then the archaeologist will draw 2, and then the friar will draw 2, after he cleans up his vomit. Alright, so what did you find?
Pure salt and wood.
Wood? I found a machete and a ward stone, and then a wooden shield, and then an Aegean round. It looks like it's a shield. +5 defense, exhaust for the counter to make a foe re-roll and attack against you. So my whip is a one-handed weapon. So would you like a shield?
Sure.
Would you like the machete instead of your hook? The machete rolls a d6 and it's a melee weapon. And it gives you a +1 to ecology.
Yes.
So you can just keep that and just set it off to the side since you're not going to be using it, and then put this where your hand would be. And then I will give the friar the shield. And then the wardstone, discard to rid yourself of any one negative status. So that's good to have. I can give that to the archaeologist. And then that's your shield. Remove the curse status or gain immunity to corrosion tokens for 1 encounter. You want those? And then Wood says, use when the group rests to skip rolling for a skirmish or off-road event. Not bad. That's definitely come in handy. You want that, or should we give it to somebody else?
Someone else.
Okay. I'll give that to the archaeologist. Alright. And then it tells us to go to the world map. We have to go to Ostalink. So all characters gain a +1 stride on their journey due to the stagecoach. Leadership should now switch to character 2 since you are transitioned from narrative to the world map. Pass the leader token to them with the day side showing. When character 2 passes the token, the next character then flip it to their night side. Alright. So then we have to go to Ostalink. So we have to go to Ostalink is here. And this is where we're at right now. And so we have this little white meeple. You actually keep your character for the time. And so we will travel to Ostalink. And so we can either travel on the road here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead we get a +1 to our stride because we're in a stagecoach. So we go 5. And then we would draw an event card. Or we would actually go off-road. When we go off-road, we only go 1 off-road space and then stop. And then, what would you like to do? Right now, it's the Exorcist is the leader.
You said if we go off-road, it counts as 1?
Yeah, counts. We can only move 1 off-road, but if we go on the road, we can go up to the stride value. So it's 4 + 1, so it would be 5. And we have to go to here. It's safer to take the road, but it's quicker to go off-road, but there's more dangers involved.
Yeah, let's just go on the road for this one.
Okay, so we'll go 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then we'll take a road event card. It says, help the poor. Several homeless vagabonds from the nearby town begged for coins and supplies to help them survive against the encroaching darkness. Any character who sacrifices 10 coins or 1 consumable item receives 8 lore. So when we play a road event, we either have a day side or a night side. So currently it's day side. And so I can actually give my wood to the poor, and I would gain 8 lore. Can I see that pencil? So I'd get 1 lore. I get 8 lore. And lore is experience points. And then he had 1 coin. Alright, and then this would get flipped to you, so now it's nighttime. And then we can continue moving on. Or we can go off-road. And if we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're in Whalen Point.
What if we did that and then we go off-road there after? Maybe go 5 and stop at that, and then the next time we go off-road 1?
We could. If you notice here, the red lines you cannot cross through.
Okay. So how are we supposed to get around?
So we can go to Whalen.
Go this way?
Yeah, go that way. So we can go to Whalen Point, and then this would get transformed to me, since we don't have to worry about the road event since we're in a town now. And then we are in Whalen Point. And so Whalen Point provides 2 services per visit. And I only have 1 coin. And no one needs any help. Because we can stop by a physician and get stitches. It says recover 1 vita for every coin spent. So I think we're good, because we don't really have any money. And so we could just continue on. And then since we transition, I'm assuming because we're transitioning out of a town, this would get flipped again. And then we can move 5.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we take another road event. Actually, I should have played one of these world event cards when we first started. Mysterious illness. Each time the group stops in a town location, all characters becomes sickened 5. And so we should have played this. So when we stopped in that town, we should have rolled to see if we got sickened. And so we need a 5. Unless you have the sickened skill trait. Actually, no, sorry. Sickened, the skill trait that goes against sickened. Let's see here. is ecology.
Mm-hmm.
You have ecology? And then the shield gave you ecology too, didn't it?
The machete did.
Machete did, okay. I don't have ecology, and he doesn't have ecology. And so I'm the archaeologist is a 6, so we're good there. The priest got a 6, he's good. And then you would roll to try not to get sick. And you got a 5, and we're good. So these are world event cards. These are kind of like area effects encounters, like in Castle Ravenloft. They stay in effect until the chapter change, I do believe. And also, you can get a what's called a wanted status, kind of like if you were wanted on a wanted poster. When you stop at a town, you can pay 10 coins to get that removed. And so we're going to go to another road event card. And we're going to do the nighttime. It says, Zombie Companion. Our companions came down with a strange sickness and became zombies. Each character must pass Occult 8 for each companion they possess. Skirmish with flesh, eating ghouls, and set their counter to the number of failures. Characters then lose the companions that become zombies. Well, we don't have any companions, so we can just skip right over that. And so then this will get passed to you. And you can actually go 1, 2, 3, and we can stop there and try to take the shortcut. Alright, so now we're in an off-road event. And it's daytime. I don't think it really matters when you're off-road. Okay, it says, Innocence lost. The sun shone brightly as we journeyed. As we passed a small cave, we heard a faint whispering from within. We entered to find a young woman sitting on the floor with her back against the wall. She cradled an injured arm. Looking destitute, she implored us to help her. So we can choose to try to heal her with an appropriate item or ability. Choose this only if you have the capability to do so. Or, choice 2, take her as a companion in hopes of finding help in town. Huh?
I don't have anything to help.
Well, my priest has something that can heal her. But if she's out here in the middle of nowhere, it's probably not safe for her. Do you think it's better to take her with us, or? Okay. We could do both, but it doesn't give us the ability to do both. Alright, so we'll choose 2. She pulled on a heavy black cloak and accompanied us. One character must take her as a mission companion and deliver her to a town. A physician within 4 rounds to gain 8 lore and a boon. If you do not roll a 1d6, 1 through 3, her skin grows pale and she can no longer control herself. And then skirmishes with a vampire, 4 through 6. So we have 4 rounds to get her to a town. Alright, so I'm going to put this die counter on her card to signify that it's going to be turn 1 as soon as we take this next turn. And so this got passed to me, and it is now nighttime. There you go. So we're going to go here, and now it's turn 1 for her counter. We'll take this next card here, and it says Dark Rite. We heard ominous chanting on the road ahead. Approaching cautiously, we found a coven of witches performing a dark rite. Subject of their evil rituals seemed to be a large unconscious man laying in the center of a pentagon. And so we can either choose 1, try to disrupt the ritual before it's too late, or choice 2, wait to see what happens. I don't know, what do you think? I think we should try to help him. Mm-hmm. Sound good? Alright, so we're going to choose to help him. It says, we rushed into the scene, disrupting the witches' concentration. Skirmish with a Strega with the skirmish counter at maximum. Afterwards, you find that the man is still alive and is grateful for being saved. Gain a militia companion. And so for a 3-player game, we would use a 6-sided die to roll to see what the determined maximum strength was. However, it tells us to play at maximum. So we'll take this little red token here, and we'll put it at 6. So each time that we take a turn to attack it, we would actually take it down 1 strength here. And it gets a +1 damage and +5 might there. Okay, and it says skirmish power, lose 1 d4 vita, and 1 random character that has hit becomes cursed 5. Alright, and so they actually attack all the characters. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to stop here at this point, and we'll pick it up next time. How's that sound?
Okay.
Alright, so thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time, and we'll pick up right where we left off.